As I mentioned, Frankenstein became the unofficial mascot of the theme park when it started in the 1960s, and he had a son. This is called Frankenstein Jr. Then things got really weird. These are real pictures that I found in our archive. Nothing says Christmas more than the bird from Loretta, 2 goats, and Frankenstein's monster. This is how they celebrated Christmas. I remember seeing this as a kid. And then there were shows that existed at Universal back in the early days. Land of a Thousand Faces, where they took 2 people from the audience and made them up as the Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein. Castle Dracula, which for some reason eventually starred the Hulk, as you can see in that advertisement. But both of these shows are shows I remember seeing and loving coming to the park as a young man. And this is an art and craft project I did in 1975 at my parents' house. You can see all the Universal monsters are represented. I still have this plate, it's still in my house.
I love the mummy.
Yeah, and Blackula's in there too.
Oh, awesome.
And that led to a lifelong obsession with collecting the Universal monsters. This is my personal collection in my house. It's called the Monster Room. I have one of the largest collections in the world of Universal monsters. And actually, the monsters led Chris and I to meet. True story. Chris, you can probably tell real quick.
Yeah, I was working actually on the Chicken Run experience, believe it or not. Okay, so I was working on that with the creative department down in the lower lot studio, and then I also had an office where I would work on Halloween Horror Nights. And this is during the time when we had done it previously from 1997 to 2001, during those times. So during the slower periods, I would work on other things, like I said, this Chicken Run experience. I was down in my other office space, and I kept looking in this individual's office who had this huge 6-foot poster, which is that one there, of Frankenstein's monster, basically. So I'm like wondering who this guy is, and it was several months before I had met John, actually, and got to know him and understood how much of a classic monster freak that he is.
And Classic Monsters was actually the first thing that you and I ever worked on. We did a show at Universal. It was called Special Effects Stages. There it is. It doesn't want to show it to you, but there it is. And it had a whole set called Creature Factory that was all about the classic monsters. Chris did the art direction for that. I wrote it. And then together we built Universal's House of Horrors. Wow, look at that. This was a permanent year-round walk-through attraction with all of the classic Universal monster movies. And then together we went on to do, of course, Halloween Horror Nights. These are just some of the many, many properties that Chris and I have done over the years. What's missing? The Universal monsters. So now, after all these years, there we go. Here we are today. Universal Monsters is now a reality. It's being built in the park as we speak, and Chris and I are going to take you through our thought process, because we approach this with one goal overall, which is to scare the living, fill in the blanks out of each and every one of you, but to do it with the Universal Monster characters, right? We were very lucky. We had help along the way. I mentioned our friends at Dark Universe and Universal Pictures, and we had help from an artist named Crash McCurry. I'm sure you guys know his work. He did Jurassic Park, Pirates of the Caribbean, Edward Scissorhands, on and on and on. One of the greatest creature designers in Hollywood, character designers, illustrators. He designed our key art. That's Crash's work.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to be able to have him work with this on these 3 characters for us, actually.
So, let's start, shall we?
Yeah.
These are the movies we're dealing with. Again, I mentioned at the beginning, it starts with the very beginning, the very first Universal monster movie, 1923, Hunchback of Notre Dame, goes all the way up to the Wolfman, 1941. And one of the first things that we had to decide when we were conceptualizing this phase is where do you begin? And of course, if you're going to do a Universal monster movie, I think you begin, much like As Frankenstein begins, in a graveyard. So Chris and I always do a ton of research whenever we're doing something like this, and our research led us to Highgate Cemetery in London.
And you can see a lot of this in respect to our inspiration that we're looking at doing, actually, and vines around statuary and big, large tombstones as well. One thing that I look at that might be a little bit different, because there's a lot of greenery in here. A lot of what you'll see is more dead foliage, more yellow, more gray, leafless trees, that kind of thing. enhance that look and set a certain tone right off the beginning of our cemetery.
So your maze experience is going to begin in the cemetery, but it's not just any cemetery, it's a cemetery where all the monsters are buried, right? And you, mortals, by your mere profane existence, trespassing into this sanctum of sanctums, you have caused the monsters to rise from their crypt, from their graves, and get you. So game on, right?
Yes.
But we also wanted to look at some other influences as well. This is Jim Morrison's grave. It's outside of Paris. If you ever go to this grave, has anybody ever been there in Paris, Morrison's grave? What's all over it? Graffiti, right? Everywhere the fans of graffiti, Jim, see you on the other side. Everywhere. We liked that idea, somebody like profaning a cemetery. And then we started doing more research. We found that all over the world, spontaneously, there is street art about the universal monsters. These are just two examples that we found in our research. So as you approach this cemetery, it's going to be tagged. It's going to have graffiti, street art on the front of some of the different universal monster characters and some of the quotes associated with the films. Once you go into the graveyard, you meet your first universal monster, and that of course is the king of all universal monsters, Frankenstein's monster. Now the way Chris and I approach the characters, because this is an original take on the classic Universal Monsters films, is we wanted to look at the inherent story of every single character. Because if you boil all these movies down to their core, and in the case of Frankenstein, we're talking about a book by Mary Shelley, right? 200 years old this year, right? The horror in that book is scarier to me than anything you can put on the screen today. At its essence, it is about a corpse. Actually, it's about many corpses that Dr. Frankenstein exhumes from the graveyard, stitches the various pieces together, jolts into life electricity, and then expects everything to just be fine. But it's not. Because the essence of Frankenstein is he is dead, and he has been brought back to life, but brought back to life in a forbidden way. So we tried to distill that down to its essence, and for us it's reanimated corpse. Again, we do our research, so these are just a couple of research images that Chris and I pulled. One of them is Walking Dead, the work of our good friend Greg Nicotero. And the other one is Frankenstein in one of the later Frankenstein movies when he's set on fire. We wanted to combine those two things, so gave it to Chris. This is our concept art that came out.
Yeah, so hey, this is our original concept for that. You can see on the left side is the overall and the costume intent as well. And then on the right side is the more close-up look where we're really trying to push that exposed bone. You can see that with the skull, but the suture still tied into the skull as well as the rust. An extreme burn look as well, and really trying to make it a more aggressive approach to this.
And then I mentioned we had our friend Crash McCreary who was able to help us out. And Crash, as I mentioned, I'll bring it back up again. That's the concept artist that Crash did it. He added some elements that we thought were super cool, like those exposed teeth. So we gave that, Chris and I, to our creature creator, who is Patrick McGee of McGee Effects. And I'm going to share with you what Patrick's done with the sculpt. Like the forces of evil had been conspired. Talk about a tease, huh? Hang on, 2 seconds.